So this is my belly currently. I am 31 weeks today, and this is what we are looking like. Hi, and welcome to my channel, Shades of Sage, where I discuss all things motherhood. My name is Tashima. I am a doula and mama 3, and I'm currently expecting my 4th child. So today I'm back with another fun video. I've actually been looking forward to doing this video for a while, and it is old wise fables to guess the gender of your baby. Now, for those who have been watching my channel or watching my pregnancy this time around, I am team green for this pregnancy, so I do not know the gender of my baby. I am waiting until birthday to find out, but I do have my suspicions, and I have a list of some fables that are supposed to predict accurately if you're having a boy or if you're having a girl. I know in some previous videos I said midwise fables. I don't know why I kept saying that. It's old wise fables. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I have been pregnant 3 times before, so I'm going to just go over the ones that I found were kind of interesting and ones that I thought were actually true for me and the ones that were kind of not true for me. So the first one is going to be heart rate. Now when I say they, I'm talking about studies, research, other moms who have been pregnant with either gender. I have a girl and I have 2 boys. So we'll see how this pans out. But they say that girl babies have a higher heart rate than boy babies during gestation. And for me, this one is absolutely true. Say it was my first child. I did not know the gender when I was pregnant with her. But her heart rate was always consistently 160s, 170s. It never got lower than like 160. And while I was carrying her, I thought she was a boy. I think most of my family thought she was a boy. Her dad thought she was a boy. And so I remember one time I had a doctor come in for a prenatal check, and she was like, she saw the heart rate. She's like, oh, you're having a girl. And I remember being so mad at her. I was like, you don't know what I'm having. I'm having a boy. And it turns out she was right 100%. I did have a girl. So that was really exciting for my boys. So for my second, I did find out the gender just because I kind of wanted to see what was the difference between not knowing being pregnant versus knowing and being pregnant. So I found out the gender about like 9 weeks. We did the blood testing and we found out he was a boy. His heart rate was always low, like 130s, 140s. So throughout the whole entire pregnancy and throughout labor as well. And then for my 3rd child, I did not know the gender again. And his heart rate was always like 150. So kind of like that borderline. At first I wasn't sure if he was going to be a boy or girl, but it stayed about 150. And so for me, I was like, I'm thinking it's a boy, and he did turn out to be a boy. So for this one, for that fable, that one has been true for me. So far, consistently, this baby's heart rate has been like 135. So in my mind, I'm thinking boy, because like I said, say his heart rate was just so much higher than a boy's was, throughout the pregnancy. And I actually have not gotten that many like heart rate readings. They always check for a heartbeat for my prenatal appointments, but the new Dopplers that they use, they don't actually have the reading on there. But when I do have my ultrasounds, usually it's like 135, 138. So to me, that means I'm having a boy, but we'll see. So the next one, which is kind of interesting, is the shape of your belly. So I honestly, personally think my stomach looks the same throughout all of my pregnancies. I have mentioned before that even when I was full term and even past due, my stomach just really doesn't get that big. And I think I have to thank yoga and just all the exercises that I've done throughout my pregnancies and before my pregnancies for my really tight core muscles. My stomach doesn't stretch that much. So I think I look the same throughout all of my pregnancies, and I didn't really get that far in my first pregnancy, which was a girl pregnancy, to see if the shape of my belly would change or whatever. My family members though think that my stomach looked different with my daughter versus my son. So again, we will see. But they say that if you're having a boy, you carry narrow and low, and that if you're having a girl, you carry high and wide. So this also goes hand in hand with like weight gain and weight distribution while you're pregnant. So if you're having a boy, the theory is that you kind of keep your shape a little bit more, and most of your weight gain or most of your visual weight gain is all in front. So you're all belly, and from behind, no one can even tell you're pregnant. But for a girl, you kind of spread a little bit more and you gain weight all over. Now, like I said, for me, I felt like I look the same for all of my pregnancies. So yeah, but for those who actually believe this theory, I will show what my belly looks like so you can make your own, guesses on gender. So this is my belly currently. I am 31 weeks today. And this is what we are looking like. Like I said, I don't really get that big in the stomach. So yeah, so that's the shape of my belly. And you can guess if I'm having a boy or girl off of that. And also, my babies are not that big either. My biggest was Matthias, and he was 6 pounds and 11 ounces. So I don't really have big babies anyway, but there's that one. The next one is the Linea Negra. So that is the dark line that you see on pregnant moms' stomachs. It usually happens somewhere in like the second trimester and the second trimester, and definitely by the third trimester. So I noticed mine coming in, I would say probably the middle of the second trimester. And so for this one, they say if you have a line, so starting from your rib cage all the way down to your pelvis, then that means you're carrying a boy. And if the line starts from your navel to your pelvis, so like halfway of your stomach, then you're having a girl. Now, also this one has been true for me. With Saya, I only had the line from my navel to my pelvis. But for my boys, I definitely had the line all the way from my rib cage all the way down to my pelvis. And so I have noticed the line all the way down this time. So I'm assuming a boy because, like I said, with Saya, I only made it to 33 weeks. So maybe it didn't have time to darken. Maybe some women have that line for all your pregnancies. So comment down below if you have boys, if you have sons and daughters, if you can remember what your line looked like. Did you have the line all the way down for all of your pregnancies, or just for some of them, and then, you know, halfway for some of them? I would be so interested in knowing if this was also true for you. But so far for me, this one has been accurate. And so that also makes me think that I'm having a boy for this pregnancy as well. So the next old wise fable is your hair. So how your hair looks during your pregnancy can determine if you're having a boy or a girl. So they say with girls, your hair is drier, it's a little bit more brittle, it may break off a little bit more and just not look as, you know, lustrous as if you're having a boy. So if you're having a boy, your hair is going to look really shiny, it's going to look really full, really bouncy, and just really bountiful and just really gorgeous, like you stepped out of a hair commercial, because the boy is giving you all those beauty hormones. So they also say that girls steal your beauty, and that with girls you have a little bit more like skin problems, so like acne or whatever. So for me, as far as hair, I would say my hair grew and kind of grew like really thick with all of my pregnancies. So this one for me is not true, it's not accurate. My hair definitely grew with my first, because I have pictures of just my hair was just thriving with my pregnancy with my daughter, and with my boys my hair did the same thing. So with this pregnancy it's a little different because I have locks, so I can't really like see my hair, but I definitely feel hair growing in spots, or, you know, like in places where I've had postpartum shedding where it has not grown or grown very slowly in years. So like I said, this one is not really true for me during pregnancy. And for all women's pregnancies, your hair is like in the growth phase. So everything, well, your whole entire body's in a growth phase, so your hair stops shedding as normally as it would have, and then that's why you notice after birth you'll notice more shedding, which will make it seem like your hair is falling out, but it's just all that hair that normally would have been shedding during your pregnancy stays in while you're pregnant. So for me, this one's not true. As far as like skin though, I can't say if I've noticed a difference like between my girl pregnancies and boy pregnancies. So as far as like breakouts or acne or whatever, I know sometimes my hands get really dry. Like for my last pregnancy, I had a lot of, my hands just really got dry and cracked. So that makes me think I'm having a boy as well, because they do the same thing this time as well, but it's winter. So I don't know if that's a boy thing or if it's just, you know, a seasonal kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know if I necessarily like this one. I don't like the thought that girls steal your beauty. I think that's rude. So if you know a woman is expecting a girl, please don't say, oh, I know you're having a girl because, you know, you're looking a little crusty. Don't say that. But yeah, so this one I don't think has been true for me. The next one is sleeping. So this is one that I recently found, and I thought I would add to the list because I do have a preferred side of sleeping. So they say if you sleep on your left side, or if you prefer to sleep on your left side, you're having a boy, and if you prefer sleeping on your right side, then you're having a girl. And I do prefer sleeping on my left side. I honestly can't remember. So for my last pregnancy, I like to sleep on my back. I know that's really bad. You're not supposed to sleep on your back while you're pregnant, especially after your second trimester. But that is the way I like to sleep. So for that one, you know, I couldn't really say based on gender if I was having a boy or girl. For my second and for my first, I really don't remember which way I slept. So, you know. But for this one, I do prefer sleeping on my left side. So that one is true for me for this pregnancy. And the last one for this video, which is also a new one that I discovered, is the feet test. Now, I've never seen this before, and when I watch some other videos, I'm like, what are they talking about? But apparently it's this little bump on your foot. So if you sit down on the floor and you put your feet together, kind of like with your soles facing each other, whichever side or whichever foot that you have like a little elevated bump on your heel, that means you're having a boy versus a girl. So if the bump is on your left foot, that means you're having a girl. If the bump is on your right foot, that means you're having a boy. I have the bump on my right foot, which is, I don't know, this one just really tickles me. So I do have a bump, an obvious bump, I would say, on my right foot. And I will insert some pictures of what this looks like. It has something to do with hormones, like, I don't know, something weird with hormones, so they say. But this one, you know, if it's a boy, we'll see if it's true for me or not. But I do have the bump on my right foot, which would indicate that I'm having a boy. So those are all the old wives' fables that I have for this video. If you have heard of any, because I know there's so many, but I didn't really want this video to be too long. And I really want to share which ones I thought were true for me and some that I just thought were kind of silly. But if you have any that you absolutely swear by, you're like, yep, I know I'm having a boy because of this. I know I'm having a girl because of this. Oh, one thing that I did forget to mention. So pregnancy cravings. For my first, I craved savory. So that's usually like what I crave anyway, not pregnant, all savory things. And for my boys, I craved sweet and cold things. And so far, that has been my #1 craving for this pregnancy as well. So that also makes me think I'm having a boy. So we shall see. But that's actually one of those that's kind of opposite from what they say. They say if you're craving sweet things, that means a girl. And if you're craving savory, that means a boy. For me, this one is opposite. So yeah, we'll see. It's just really kind of fun guessing, you know, and kind of anticipating what the baby will be, whether it'll be a boy or a girl. And so yeah, like I said, share in the comments which ones were true for you, especially my mom, if you're watching this video, you know, because you've been pregnant a lot. Because you've had a lot of pregnancies, boys and girls, and so I want to know which of these were actually true for you. Or did you just ever have a feeling like, yeah, I know I'm having a boy, I'm having a girl? I never really had a feeling, and whatever feeling, okay, no, that's wrong. For my first, I didn't know. For my second, I kind of guessed it was a boy just because I already had a girl. For my third, I guessed again it was a boy because of my cravings. And so for this pregnancy, I'm guessing a boy again because of my cravings also. And like I said, some of the other things I already mentioned. But yeah, it's just fun to kind of try to guess before the baby actually comes out. I would love another girl, and I would be pleasantly surprised if this was a girl, but I really don't think so. So we shall see. Thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, give me a great big thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you to all of my subscribers so far. Remember to let your story be your power, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.